The following program is filled with truth and facts. This program may not be suitable for the liberal-minded. Hey folks, how you doing? The American Liberty Radio Network blog, audio blog right here. Yeah. If I have a voice. Yes, anyway, here it is. So, excuse me. So what do we do? How is it that we have a situation going on in our country that a lot of people really, they're not really paying attention, are they? Are they? It's just something I guess we're going to have to find out, right? No, really, they are paying attention, and it's okay. I mean, it's fine. People are paying attention, and there is a sense of belonging, really, to what we do. Okay, there is a sense of belonging. There is a sense of camaraderie, if you will, in what we do. Because the independent media is the only one that has the truth, has the facts, has everything laid out. And the course that we take after knowing the truth is, well, some people disagree with it, some people don't. So what do you do? What do you do? Sorry. What do you do? Let me say it this way. Let me put it to you this way, in a way that you'll probably understand a whole lot better. You're sitting at home, and an acquaintance comes by. Not a really good friend, but somebody either from work or, whatever. Comes by, doesn't even knock, just walks into your house, goes into your refrigerator, grabs, starts making a sandwich, ignoring your, questioning as to why they're there. Goes into your living room, excuse me, sits down, grabs the remote, starts flipping around, turns it on ESPN, whatever. Takes over the house, basically. What do you do? Well, as for me, I will kick his ass. That's just the way it is. But what do you do? Well, here's what's happening in the scope of the United States. The Syrian refugees, quote unquote, are here, and that's what they're doing. Not all of them, mind you, but some of them. Now, what do we do about this? I mean, here we are, we're suffering from serious problems here in the country, and we're going to allow other people from another country to come here and just take over? Or are you out of your flipping minds? Okay? Or are you just, have you lost your balls to stop all of this? Now, I never could understand how somebody could just, walk right in and take over, but, seems like America's been doing that for quite some time, going into other countries with the military, telling their leaders, this is what you're going to do, and the leaders are going, no, we're not, and then the military aims their big old guns at them, and the leader of that country goes, oh, I guess I will. Interesting little tidbits there, isn't it? I'll be back right after this. Don't go away. This is American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. the only service of this kind, offering you fast and easy access to the very best talent from around the world. Creating your own audio doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming. Music Radio Creative is your source for all of your audio and production needs. That's Music Radio Creative. MusicRadioCreative.com. Blowing up terrestrial radio. The future is here. Destroying the liberal media one truth bomb at a time. Independent media is shattering the liberal national security media into a million pieces. Their views of the world are based on the script the government gives them. Independent media seeks out and finds the truth and reports on what is truly going on behind the scenes. Support the truth and facts. Support independent media. Hey folks, how you doing? This is the American Liberty Radio Network audio blog. Yes, I usually write them, but I thought I'd start recording them. So, back to my question. What are you going to do? Seriously. What are you going to do? Okay? I mean, somebody comes into your home and starts taking over. I mean, what's the deal? What's the deal? What do you do? What do you do as an individual to secure your property? Well, let's expand that a little bit, shall we? I mean, you live in a country, excuse me, you live in a country where the government is totally and absolutely 100% against you doing anything as a result of your liberty and freedom that was secured and protected by a document called the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871. After 1871, it became a corporate constitution where your rights don't matter. Where the rights of the individual were decidingly absent from the Act of 1871. And therefore, we operate under the corporate Constitution and Bill of Rights, giving all corporations all the rights that they want that are exactly like the rights of the individual. Well, if that wasn't enough, 1913 rolls around and we have the signing of the two documents, the Federal Reserve Act and the Internal Revenue Act, signed by President Woodrow Wilson, who is and was a self-proclaimed socialist. A progressive, we know them as now. Then 20 years later, Roosevelt signs this document that literally gave the states away and really pulled them into the collective progressiveness of the liberals of Washington, D.C. at the time. And now we have at-will employment policies and right-to-work states, which are two very, very, very destructive pieces of legislation. You can't have one and you can't have both, and you can't have your cake and eat it too. In other words, it's wrong, both of those. Then, of course, subsequently, you can look out through history from that point and realize we're screwed. There's no identifiable mark on the United States of America where the people, in the last 150 years, where the people, you and I, where the people made any difference in the country, except for the abolitionists in the 1800s who fought for abolishing slavery. And that was only just part of the Civil War of 1861 and through 1865. That was only part of it. The cessation, what is it? I don't want to say sensational, that's not it. The secession movement, there we go, of that time wanted to have the South completely on its own, away from the North, away from Abraham Lincoln, away from all of those people. Because they wanted to continue their slavery. They wanted to continue their destructive policies of human life and dignity and subjugate people as they had in England. Okay? So, all in all, the South wanted fascism, socialism, Marxism, dictatorship. That's what they wanted. And don't give me this crap that they didn't want it. Go back and look at the records of the politicians of that time under the Southern president, Confederate President Jefferson Davis. Go look at the notes. Go look at the diaries. Go look at all of that, and you'll realize they wanted to set up their own country on this continent. Well, it's kind of a weird thing that when you think of it that way, that each state of the 50 states of the United States of America are countries unto themselves. Kind of a weird situation, right? So anyway, so what do we do? What do we do when our land is invaded? What do we do when our states are invaded? What do we do when our neighborhoods are invaded by domestic terrorists called street gangs? What do? We protect ourselves. Do we not? Or do we just sit back and let them run roughshod over our neighborhoods? What are you going to do? Seriously. The thing that really has put us on the map as a country has been the foundation of the liberty we have. Okay? There's no question about that. We have certain liberties, God-given rights that cannot be taken away, protected by our founding fathers and the signatories of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and Bill of Rights of the United States of America. Protected, God-given rights that cannot be taken away. We have this. But we also have morons in Washington, D.C. that don't know their butt from a hole in the ground and probably have never read one sentence of the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution or the Bill of Rights and looked at every single amendment. Every single amendment to those amendments of the Bill of Rights has pretty much nullified the other 10 rights that are there, the primary 10 rights that are in the Bill of Rights. And when you look at the situation, when you look at what is happening, okay? When you look at what is happening, 90 years after the Constitution and Bill of Rights were ratified, December 15th, 1791, when you look at that, is it 90 years or 80 years? I'm not 1791 to 1871. Is that 90 years? That's 80 years. When you look at that and you examine it for what it is, you will have a much keener view of how this country should be operating. Not the government, Washington, D.C., that 10 square mile piece of land that was put there by the Act of 1871, signed by President Ulysses S. Grant. Not that, over the people, but the people of the rest of the United States over Washington, D.C. Now, along come your liberal colleges. I mean, totally liberal colleges. And when you look in 1800s, early 1900s, you will see that when you compare them to the colleges of today, you're looking at a more aggressive, progressive philosophy in politics then, and it's just quadrupled, if not more, today. Okay, you see this. It's there. There's no question about it. The indoctrination of these liberal college students have developed students who are whiny, pansy-ass, brainless, backboneless, gutless, ballless wonders that scream for their mama when everything goes to hell in a handbasket. That's why they're out there yelling for, I want a safe space because I'm offended by that person. Get over it. Instead of being offended and whining and going grabbing your mama's apron string, how about standing up and develop an idea and put it forth against that or for that, depending on what it is? Why not? Or is that too much work for you? These cattle that are coddled in these universities. They don't want to learn. They don't want to sit through the process, go through the process to learn what the basics of life are and should be for them. No. They want everything handed to them on a silver platter, period. Well, that's not going to happen, and that's not what our founding fathers wanted. I don't see anywhere in the Constitution where it says in any degree, shape, way, form, whatever, that we have a right to health care, that we have a right to, anything other than our own pursuit of happiness, our own pursuit of what our conscience has led us to. But ultimately, above all that, it's about survival. But that's for another blog. We need to understand that the shape of this country as it exists today is a far cry from what our founding fathers fought and died for. Now, we look at the founding fathers, but we have to understand that there were more people behind the scenes taking care of business than they were. Okay? We had a war of independence from British tyrannical rule between 1773 and 1776, when finally the Declaration of Independence was signed. 1776, a Constitution and a Bill of Rights was ratified December 15, 1791. And what happened? 70 years later, a civil war broke out. Now, were there wars between 1791 and 1861? Yes, there were. But it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it went from there. So what do we do, folks? What do we do? I don't know how else to put this, but I guess I'll just make it plain and simple for everybody. This is not the United States of America that I learned about in high school that I'm seeing today. I learned about something totally different than what I see today. Because I'm much more mature, I'm much more, aware of what's going on. And it is what it is. There's no question about it. It is what it is. But as far as I know, right now, today, on the 22nd of December 2015, what I know today is that the United States of America, as we see it today, is not like what our founding fathers fought and died for between 1776 and 1791. And it's not anything like we knew it was from 1791 to 1871. It became a cesspool of progressive ideas and philosophies from 1871 to the present. It is the worst piece of crap on the face of this planet. Now I know why big business and all the elites want to destroy it, because they want to rebuild it in their image, which is 10 times, 1,000 times worse than what it has ever been since 1871. Now, is there a solution in all of this? What's the solution? Well, it's real simple. American Revolution, Part 2. Now, I know that's hard to swallow. I know that's hard to understand. I know that's hard to grasp. An American Revolution, Part 2. Oh, and we can do it much more effectively and efficiently and effectively today than our relatives did back in 1773, 4, 5, and 6, or 1861 to 1865. We can make it happen. But, yeah, I knew you were sitting there going, but, yeah, but. You're not going to change things if you don't first get rid of the obstacles that are in front of you. And what's the obstacles in front of our peace, freedom, security, and liberty in this nation? We see it all over the news. What it is the criminal activity coming out of Washington, D.C., the fascist ideas, the Marxist philosophies coming out of Washington, D.C., and all of that behind the scenes. In other words, we don't have a legitimate electoral system in this country. We don't. We don't. We don't have a legitimate electoral system or process in this country. We don't. Now, a lot of people might say, well, yeah, we do. We're allowed to vote. Blah, blah, blah. No. You're only given this facade of choice. And we don't have a choice. It's the same group of people controlling both parties, okay, and paying for each party's campaign. Okay? If you don't believe me, just connect the dots and follow the money. That's all you got to do. Just connect the dots and follow the money. You'll see it. It's there. It really is. Now, question. Before I get out of here. Question. How is it that we cannot see in some form or fashion the forest before the trees? I mean, that's really what it boils down to. How come we cannot see what is actually going on? It's very simple. The powers that be don't want us and will not allow us to see what's behind the curtain. But independent media will. They'll struggle and fight and push and we'll do anything we can to get our nose under the tent, to look inside. Will the mainstream media do that? No, they're on the payroll of the government. And that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I'm really at the end of my rope, folks. Actually, when I say that, it's not like I'm going to quit anything. What it is that I'm at a stopping point because I have to regroup, reset, and view some more stuff that's coming down the pike, that's coming into the media. I have to dig through all of this to find out what's true and what's not. As far as I'm concerned, the networks that are out there, they're not telling the truth. They never have and they never will. I don't give a crap what you say. I don't care what your excuses are. I absolutely don't care. They are lying to you. Well, they have to have some truth to get you to watch the show. That's called honeypot. Go look it up. Go look it up. Now, if I may, you guys are like my best listeners. And the people that say I'm full of crap, well, you can just hit the door and go have a nice day elsewhere. But you people who listen to this show and understand what's going on and see it from your perspective, you guys are like the backbone of this. This is the reason why I do these podcasts and these live shows that I do every so often. So whatever you can do to help out, please do. If you want to share the show with somebody, go ahead. If you want to support the network in some way, shape, or form, financially or otherwise, AmericanLibertyRadio.com or my personal website at WayneSPierce.com. There's a GoFundMe link right there. That supports American Liberty Radio Network and supports me finding more of this stuff behind the curtain. So there you go. I don't know what else to say, folks. I'm kind of hanging out here. But, let me play this and I'll be right back. Blowing up terrestrial radio. The future is here. Destroying the liberal media one truth bomb at a time. Independent media is shattering the liberal national security media into a million pieces. Their views of the world are based on the script the government gives them. Independent media seeks out and finds the truth and reports on what is truly going on behind the scenes. Support the truth and facts. Support independent media. Hey, folks, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to get out of here. This is the American Liberty Radio Network audio blog. I'm yours truly, Wayne Pierce. Go check out my podcast, the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast, right here on Spreaker and on AmericanLibertyRadio.com. You can also email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Talk to you later.